Should the Mavericks keep Kyrie Irving moving forward? Short answer, yes, they should. On today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question. Good morning, Isaac.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like back.
You are Locked On the Dallas Mavericks. This is one of your co-hosts, Isaac Harris, covering the Mavs for the last 10 years alongside my good friend, Nick Angstead. And today I'm talking about Kyrie Irving. Guys, I don't know if you knew this, but Nico Harrison was dismissed from his job. Pause for everyone to clap on that one. But now the Mavericks have to decide what direction they're going to go in. And are they going to tear this thing down? Are they going to rebuild? Are they going to retool? Who's in charge? Who's calling the shots? Are they keeping the vets? There's so many things coming up for Dallas in the immediate future. That Minnesota game. But I want to talk about Kyrie. He's honestly one of my favorite Dallas Mavericks of all time. And you're like, Isaac, how? He hasn't been here that long. For a lot of different reasons, but he really is. I have loved Kyrie Irving's time here in Dallas. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about why he's so important and kind of how I feel about what they should do with him moving forward if he is willing. We actually had a small thing about Kyrie Irving. Mark Spears works for ESPN. Gave a little Kyrie update, a little plugged in with Kyrie in his camp. Mark Spears says Kyrie's looking good. He's ahead of schedule. He's working out with the purpose of playing this season. I think optimistic wise, late January, All-Star break, which is great. Someone close to me told me if it was the playoffs, he could play right now. That's how ahead of schedule he is, but I hear he wants to be back. This goes with everything that I've been hearing. Not that Mark Spears needs anything, but if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, even at the beginning of the season, I was like pushing back on a lot of people of when they were lumping Kyrie in with all the people that was going to be out for this whole entire season. I'm like, hey, I wouldn't throw Kyrie in that same list. Everything I was hearing, like Kyrie's going to be back. Rehab's going great right now. So it feels like that is the same thing right now. And that's awesome to hear. But what do the Mavericks want? Like, do they want him to come back at this point? Because he's definitely going to be the best point guard on the Mavs whenever he comes back. And even if he's not 100%, even though Brandon Williams has been playing good basketball, by the way, fun basketball. But it ultimately comes down to like what direction the Mavericks go in, and is Kyrie Irving part of the future? And just a heads up where he's at right now, contract-wise, age-wise, he's 33 years old. He is making $36.5 million this year. He has $39.4 million contract for next year, fully guaranteed, everything. And then it's the year after that he has a 42.4 player option that Kyrie will have to decide on at that point. So it's like, what do they do with Kyrie? There's a lot. I mean, there's so much speculation right now with fans, with media people. Like, does Dallas blow it up? What does blowing it up even mean? Is it just AD? Is it all the vets? Is it AD and Kyrie? And I see Kyrie lumped in with AD in this, or Klay, or all the vets. And it's like, well, if you get rid of all of them, you got to get rid of Klay, or you got to get rid of Kyrie. I just think that's wrong. I think at some point you sit down with Kyrie's camp. One, you got to figure out, well, the first step, all of it was letting go of Nico. Should have happened earlier, but it happened. Next, you got to figure out who's calling the shots next or moving forward. Are you going to bring in Dennis Lindsay? I did a whole episode on it the other day of GM candidates, some directions, some paths that they could go down. Is it going to be Dennis Lindsay? Is it going to be Jason Kidd? Is it going to be the interim, the combo approach with Riccardi and Finley? Are you going to go hire somebody big time, and bring Masai out? You're going to try to get like a David Griffin type of guy. We'll see who they try to go after, who they get, but they got to decide on who's calling the shots, who's in charge. And then that person will decide on the direction, and assuming, at least I think what they should, and what a lot of people think they should go down is, hey, we're going to kind of like retool this thing and just focus on Cooper. There's no Nico Harrison timeline, and we're probably going to be bad this year. Get another young stud in here alongside Cooper, and then figure it out next year where we're going. So what do you do with Kyrie? He's 33. He's making almost $40 million. You're like, oh man, no, I feel like no. If Kyrie is willing, you sit down, once you determine all of that, you sit down with Kyrie's camp and you say, hey, what do you want? Like, what do you want right now? Do you want us to work with you to find a place that you want to go? That's a winning situation. You're going for a title, all the things. If that's what you want, we'll work with you. But if you're willing, we want you here. I think that should be the message. I want Kyrie Irving in Dallas for as long as he wants to be in Dallas right now. I think you need Kyrie Irving right now. I think it's a pivotal moment in the franchise. Like, you just let go of Nico and everything with Nico. I don't want to hash all that stuff out again. But now like your task, Dumont's task is like recapturing the passion of the fan base, recapturing the trust of the fan base. And I think that's one of the reasons, and I want to go through a couple of reasons here of why you got to keep Kyrie Irving, in my opinion. But I think one of the reasons is in the midst of all the change that's happened, and we've talked about it multiple times on this podcast, from ownership to management to players to people behind the scenes in the organization, there's been so much turnover and so much change that at some point you risk losing the identity of like who you are. I wrote about this a long time ago. I have a Substack where I try to write every now and then whenever I feel like I want to, or whatever. And I'm like, whenever you have so much change and turnover, it's kind of like the question of like, well, who are the Mavericks? It like that, you can't really define it the same way whenever you've literally eliminated so much about what the Mavericks used to be and what they are now. I think we all need something that's a constant besides Dwight Powell. All these changes, still got my dog Dwight Powell. And Kyrie Irving has been one of those. I mean, Kyrie was the best spokesperson after the trade than anyone else in the whole organization. When the PR masterclass of a disaster was happening, when Nico couldn't hold a press conference without sticking his Nike Air Maxes down his mouth, Kyrie was the one who resonated with the fans more than anybody. He understood the connection. He had empathy. He knew that. And like, I felt that. I was like, dude, Kyrie's been the best spokesperson out of all of this. He gets the biggest applause. Like, I think it was getting close to when him and Luka were healthy together, and you can call me crazy or like in the moment or whatever. I feel like the applause and it's a stupid thing to talk about like applause, but like, I feel like the applause for Luka or Kyrie was getting close to the same same or more for Kyrie. Like, Kyrie's had such a long history in this league. He has so many fans around the league. So many players love him around the league. He had a stint with Nike, and his shoes were just incredible Nike shoes that sold so well before all of that happened. And he is just beloved by fans. Kids connect with him well. You see Kyrie Irving jerseys everywhere. And in this season of the Mavericks history, in this chapter of the Mavericks history, when Dirk is retired and has been distant from the franchise, and hopefully that is fixed at some point. Luka is obviously gone. Cuban's gone. We're talking about some of the biggest faces about the Mavericks. There's no AD connection to this fan base. There hasn't been, and it probably never will, unfortunately. And I hate that for him personally, but when you get traded for Luka Doncic in this situation, whoever's coming in, it's going to be so tough, and he's been injured. So there's no AD connection, and all the faces of when you try to define who the Mavericks are, from Dirk to Luka to Cuban, even if you want to say Rick Carlisle, you look at other players, it's a superstar league. Like, all these faces are gone. And then you have Kyrie. And it's like you have a chance to keep one of those faces that's beloved around the league, that players love, that fans love, that kids love. You need a constant. And I think that's one of the reasons too. I want Kyrie to stay. I want them to keep Kyrie and say, man, if you are willing, stay with us. Stay with us as we retool. We're not going to tear this thing down. We're not going to tear it down and suck forever because, hey, newsflash, you don't have control of your picks after this upcoming draft. So even if you do suck every single year on purpose, you don't have control of your picks. So this is like, we're going to suck this year. And if you're willing, we want to retool around these two young studs of Cooper and the draft pick. And we want you to be right there with us, you, J Kidd, and have some other vets and stuff too, if he's willing. I want to take a quick break and I want to talk about some other reasons because some of you are like, well, it's not just about the fan connection. You can't keep paying somebody that old just because of a fan connection. Well, I have some other reasons too, so calm down. Let's take a quick break. This podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Mint Mobile. If you're still overpaying for wireless, it's time to say yes to saying no. At Mint Mobile, their favorite word is no. No contracts, no monthly bills, no overages, no hidden fees, no BS. I said yes to making the switch and getting premium wireless for just $15 a month. Mint makes it simple. All plans come to high-speed internet, data, and unlimited. What a word right now. Talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can even bring your own phone and keep the same number and contacts. I love what you're getting. The same quality service you had before, but a fraction of the price. Ready to say yes to saying no? Make the switch at mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. That's mintmobile.com/LockedOnNBA. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time, new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed may slow down above 35 gigabytes on a limited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. This podcast is also brought to you by our longtime friends at Game Time. Game Time. Game Time. Where is this Game Time overlay? I can't see it. Oh my gosh. Here we go. All right. Sorry for the video people, audio people. You're lost right now. Basketball season is rolling. Nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. Guys, when Cooper's on it right now at the AAC, it's really fun. The fans, it feels like now that Nico is gone, I get the basketball isn't the best right now for the Mavs, but it feels like it's a breath of fresh air, and the fans the energy is kind of back in the arena. Between waiting in queues, surprise fees, and prices that jump right before checkout, it's easy to get frustrated. All you want to do is cheer on your team. That's where Game Time comes in. The app that gives the fans an advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NBA tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. Their zone deals are a game changer. You pick the section, Game Time picture seats, and you save big. You can even find NBA tickets for under $25. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Well, that was fun to do.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Bam. All right, talk about Kyrie Irving. What should the Mavericks do with Kyrie Irving? If he's willing to stay, I think they should keep him. I talked about the fan connection, the connection with the city and stuff he has right now. And they also, here's another reason. I have watched too much basketball without a good point guard. I'm done. I'm done watching any type of basketball team that does not have a point guard. Listen, it's not like I had this big revelation this year of like, hey, point guards matter. It's not that at all. You obviously you need point guards. You need guys that can handle the ball. But man, I refuse to watch any long-term basketball without a good point guard on the team. God bless. Especially to start the season when they haven't been playing a point guard. They tried the Cooper thing. It's like, what are we doing? Shout out to when Cooper actually gets to play off the ball, even though I still am kind of just weirded out about how they're using Cooper still. But, oh well, he's looked good. They need a good point guard. And Kyrie Irving is one of the best ones in the business. And I get he's coming off the ACL injury and everything with that considered. But he's still going to be better than what they had this year. And I still think he's going to be playing at a high level. And I think that's one of the most important positions. If you don't think that, then what have you been watching this season with the Mavs? and you get to secure one of those guys, if he is willing to stay and you already have one of those guys on your team, I think it's huge. He knows, it seems so cliche to say, he knows how to play the game. He knows how to set people up. He can play defense when he wants to. He can score at a super high level. We know all of that. He's entertaining to watch, but it's more important just like you have the guy out there that knows how to play a game at a super high level at the point guard spot. You don't have to worry about, hey, can this guy handle the ball? Do we have to go can we find another guy? You don't have to worry about any of that. Like what you're trying to do right now. Is B-Will good enough? What about D'Lo? And it's like, no, you have that guy. You have to have a good point guard. And here's the thing. Whether you want to be a super good team and win as many games as possible, you need a good point guard. Or if you are a bad team, one of the things we talk about all the time on the show is I try to mention it every summer league, especially if you have a new rookie and especially if they're not a point guard. I'm like, one of the most important things for summer league teams to do when constructing a team is go out there and get somebody that can be a floor general in summer league. Because if you don't have a point guard on the floor, even if they're never going to play in the NBA again, go get a point guard that can set some of your new draft picks up, they can play in some of these positions that they're going to play in the league, that can throw a pass down low, that can throw an inbounds pass, that could throw a pass of somebody coming off a screen. Like you just got to, if you have a big, somebody that can run a pick and roll, there is important. So even if you're going to be a sucky team, keep Kyrie Irving to be the point guard that can help this young team, that can help these guys run a system that they're going to run in the future. And I think that's one of my last things too, is on top of him just being a really good player, on top of his connection with the fans and the city, and you need a good point guard on your team. You don't have to worry about it roster wise. There's a mentorship aspect of having Cooper Flagg. Man, I've been so excited for the chance to see Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving play basketball together. And here's the crazy thing too, is if the season keeps going like it is for the Mavs, then they're going to bring in another top prospect. And what if, Galaxy Brain here, what if they get a Darren Peterson? Peterson's one of the best point guard prospects I have seen in I don't know how long. And if you do have the chance to bring in a Peterson to play with Cooper Flagg, then you get to say, hey, Darren Peterson, you get to come to Dallas to pair up with Cooper Flagg for the next 10 or 15 years. And also you get to learn from Kyrie Irving. What a cool opportunity that is. A lot of teams out there have the vets and the mentors on their team. Not a lot of teams have the vets and mentors that's actually starting, playing, and in the rotation. A lot of times you see the Markieff Morris spots. It's just the end of the bench guys, the DeAndre Jordan in New Orleans signing of like, hey, bro, you're never going to play, but we just need that vet presence on the end of the bench. And I get it. I'm not against that. I love that for locker room vibes and everything. You need those type of players. But there's a difference when you have that good veteran mentor actually playing in tight moments in the fourth quarter, playing regular minutes with your other young guys that they're trying to rub off on and all of that. So, I mean, I could keep going. I love Kyrie Irving and his time in Dallas. It's been a lot of fun. And if they do tear this thing down and they start to, hey, we're going to trade off vets and stuff, and they trade Anthony Davis, they look at trading like Klay and D'Lo and stuff. I just hope that Kyrie Irving's not on that. And I don't think either, no matter what they decide to do, I don't think Kyrie Irving is getting traded this season. Could be wrong. If both sides wanted to go that route, it could be like an off-season type of thing. But even that, if he is willing, I will reiterate this again. If he is willing to stay, I want him to stay. I think it's the best thing for this organization, for the fans, for the team, and for Cooper and this upcoming draft pick is to have Kyrie Irving as your starting point guard. All right, we'll be back with another episode later on tonight. Myself, Nick, and yeah, we'll go from there. Oh, no, wrong one. Yeah. Peace out. Boom. Kyrie, please stay. Please stay.